Hello, guys. This is an Creepypasta reading. I haven't done this since April of 2022, but I'm back with, you know, I'm back at last. Let's begin, shall we? We all know that the original Transformers toys were actually repaints from other toy lines, mostly Diaclone. What we don't know is where the inspiration for the human characters came from. In the original cartoon, the main humans were Sparkplug and his son Spike. Strange names for humans, and they appeared to be the only human cast members given these robotic nicknames. It's never explained how they got their nicknames or why Spike's mother is never around. Another thing that's never explained is what happened to Sparkplug between the end of season 2 and the movie. Spike never talks about his father, and it's likely his son Daniel doesn't even know who his grandfather is. In the live action films, we're finally given some insight into the characters' real names and who Spike's mother was. Ronald Witwicky was a mechanic, just like in the cartoon. Judy Witwicky was portrayed a little differently, making her appear as if she didn't understand drugs. The Brown incident at the college in the sequel. In actuality, Judy often abused drugs. This upset Ron, which is why he never talks about her in the cartoon. The last straw for Ron was when Judy revealed to him that she was pregnant. She promised she would finally clean up her act for the baby, but continued to abuse drugs anyway. After Sam was born, seemingly in perfect health, everything was fine for a while. Judy was arrested as a unfit mother. Ron was given full custody of Sam. Judy was allowed supervised visitation once a week, but only after she completed a laboratory program. When Sam got older, he started playing with Diaclone and other early Transformers figures, though they weren't yet considered Transformers. He would make up stories about Optimus Prime and his Autobots versus Megatron, the evil Decepticons. It seemed innocent enough until Ron realized that his son wasn't playing a game. He actually thought this fantasy world where he had made up was real. Whoa. By this time, Judy had been fully rehabilitated and welcomed back into their lives, or so she thought. It turned out that the reason their son was having these delusions was because of the drugs Judy was on while she was pregnant. He was physically fine, but mentally he would never be a normal child. Judy, after hearing the news of what she had done, went back to her old ways. After all, the damage has already been done. She couldn't change that, nor did she think she could make things worse. Ron was enraged by this and murdered his wife. He took a spark plug from her car, extended the wiring, and made her take the spark plug in her mouth like a joint. Then started the car electrocuting her. Ron was arrested for murder and uxoricide, and Sam was sent to live with his grandfather, Archibald Witwicky. He seemed to act as if nothing had ever happened, as if he was still with his father. He forgot that Judy even existed and started calling his grandfather Papa Sparkplug, as if his father was still there. Archibald was an archaeologist, but he retired to take care of Sam. He wasn't around much before, so Sam didn't really know him. Eventually, Sam managed to do what no one thought possible. He came to grip with the reality around him. His father had escaped from prison and shown up at their house, thinking he was a Decepticon trick. Sam grabbed a rusted railrod spike from his grandfather's collection of artifacts and killed his father with it. It was only that after that he realized who his father really was. Sam was sent to trial, but never convicted for reasons of insanity. He was, however, sent to a mental institution for observation. Dr. Spencer was highly respected and entrusted to handle Sam's case. She had worked harder than any other doctor to get where she is being a woman. But Caleb Baines was another patient at the same hospital. Just like in the movie, her dad was a criminal. What they left out was that she had a history of mental disorders, impersonating people she looked up to, trying to forget who she really was. She often pretended to be Dr. Spencer, flirting with Sam, as if they were a couple. She got in trouble for it a lot. Of course, no one realized that it was true. Dr. Spencer Henser eventually released Sam with bill of health, a full bill of health. She would still see him every once in a while, claiming it was to make sure he was keeping up on his medications. But they had actually started dating. She had to keep this a secret as it cost her the job she had worked so hard for if people knew she was romantically involved with a patient. Carly Spencer was never officially married to Sam, but did end up pregnant with Sam's son, Daniel. To protect her job, she told the father was a man named Hip Chase, but Sam and Carly both knew this wasn't true. She didn't really remember him. She thought she made him up on the spot. In reality, Chip had been a former patient who was paralyzed by gang violence. A gang leader named Raoul shot him in just the right spot to paralyze him, but not kill him. Once people found out who Chip Chase was, they realized he couldn't possibly be the father of Carly's son, as he has no feeling below the waist. Carly was fired from her job, and with the secret out, she finally married Sam Witwicky. Sam stopped taking his medications and drifted back into his delusions. He started insisting that his grandfather, Archibald Wiki, was actually a scientist named Dr. Arkaville, who helped a Decepticon named Starscream to kill his father, who he only now referred to as Sparkplug. He started insisting that everyone call him Spike. Carly tried to help him get back on his meds, but she too was killed in front of their 6-year-old son. She tripped over an RC car, not one that Daniel had left there and forgot to pick up, but Spike had left at the top of the stairs intentionally so she wouldn't notice it and fall down to the first floor, breaking her neck. Daniel often cries out of fear of his dad. Whenever he's not crying, he's living out his own fantasy that his mother is still alive. Being so young, he didn't actually know who his parents as anything other than mom and dad. So he took to calling her RC. It would often look like the remains of the broken toy while talking to his mother. Daniel went into foster care after his father was committed a second time. He lived with Isaac and Sari Sundak, who were not actually father and daughter, but actually husband and wife. They wanted a child but couldn't conceive. Many of the other foster children were also inspirations for human cares in the Transformers universe. Daniel committed suicide in 2007 after the names of his family members were revealed, breaking his contract with Hasbro, letting this long, tragic story leak out.